everyone, and welcome to another special conversation around music and well-being. And today I am with Sabio Janiak. Hello, Sabio.
Hello, hello,
Hello,
hi.
Sabio. I'm so excited to speak to you today. So, Sabio is a multidisciplinary holistic mental health practitioner, the end of life doula, trauma therapist, musician, composer, and transformative coach. So, thank you for being here with me today, Sabio. Um,
Thank you,
and
pleasure. Mm.
I met you when we were doing some concerts together, and I've been following you, throughout the last few years, and how much you have been involved in music as a healing tool. And so, what better person to ask to have this conversation with? And I'm just going to start with, the usual question that I ask all my patron, which is, and the people that I interview, which is, why do you think, why is music so beneficial for our well-being?
Mm. Thank you for having me. Really, I'm very exciting to be here. And well, I think it's a very important question. And I would, to answer this, I would kind of put this aspect into different, from look at this aspect from two different perspectives. So first perspective is music, and music is it's like full painting, like all the colors we use those colors which we know, and we call them tones and sounds, which are coming from different instruments, which are coming from the voice also. And then from my perspective, there's another aspect of it. It's the sound itself and the tone, and it's a bit different, because this, the sound and the vibration, the vibrational states, I would say, they are very, they have, I would say there's a different approach to use them. So the
Mm,
music, from my perspective, it's like a very advanced sound healing, and
mm,
we really need to kind of have a deeper understanding what's going on, because it's a combination of many different vibrational states together. And the music is actually touching, first of all, the mental aspect of the human being, um, because we usually don't have an access to be close to the acoustic sound wave, like when we experiencing music. This all sounds we hear most of the time is coming through the speakers, so it's kind of digital.
mm.
So it affects the mental aspect, the kind of mind aspect, and feelings, sensations. We can, if we hear some nice soothing sounds, then we have feelings. In this sense, personally, I honestly think this is the music is the reminder, the reminder, who we are on the soul level.
Soul
That's
level. Okay.
soul level.
Mm,
Really, because that's where it goes.
mm.
When we listen, we have this, oh, beauty. It reminds us about the beauty,
Yeah.
who we are, and we kind of, every time we listen, because why is so important to have so much music? And this, no war can stop music and sound,
True.
singing. It's been for always present, you know and
Yeah.
this is very interesting question, why nothing can stop it. So, but
Yeah.
it's a kind of, I would say, soul level is just constantly feeding us with the reminder, remember who you are, like the feelings, the beauty, these qualities. So I would
Yeah.
say that's why music is so important, and the therapeutic aspect of it, it's a bit different. It's more like a clinical. So it's more about frequencies and the law of resonance and all this kind of, you need to be more specific in order to have like a physical benefits from the sound, acoustic sound wave or vibrational states.
I
So I would
see.
say this, yeah.
I see. I see. And which is probably what you do more in your practice, where you use sound bowls and different instruments, different tools to
Right.
probably reach certain vibrational states.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's yeah. So thank you so much for that, first of all, for your wonderful explanation of why music is so important. I think it really touches something really important in the human being, and
Mm.
to find its soul, like you said. I really liked that. And also, yeah, the depth, of us. And really, really great. So can we dive into a little bit more of, yeah, your practice, so that people can understand a bit more how you achieve certain benefits?
Okay, so here again I have two kind of paths. So first path is obviously the live performance, but for this purpose I use kind of information and the knowledge I gain through another practice which is more clinical. So I started from this idea. I asked myself, what is in order to understand the sound in depth and the vibration, I realized that I have to go into micro scale, because I was working on this on one project which was all about, I just wanted to work with nervous system and vestibular system in the body, and then ask myself like how I can affect the nervous system, how I can change the blood pressure through working only with vestibular system, only with headphones. So even the whole body doesn't get cannot feel the external vibration. So then I realized I had to go into the micro scale. Like we investigate virus or disease on the microscope, under microscope. The same here. The micro level affects that's where the nervous system, the eardrum works.
Mm,
On the micro scale.
mm,
And that I've done lots of tests, also with neuroscience, and I started understanding that how important is the micro scale, micro volume. It's like we would say, if it's not important, let's say, so what about the mosquito, which is
mm,
so small in the room, and why you cannot sleep? You have
mm.
all the time. It's
Yeah,
a little sound.
yeah,
So it works opposite now.
yeah,
The same, this kind of sound, annoying sound, we on the other side, we have a healing sound and restoring sound or balancing sound, right?
yeah.
So then I've done quite a lot of research about this aspect, and then I realized that first of all, the body is unique. It's a box. It's like a cello, let's say, or whatever, violin, whatever instrument we take. So every instrument has its own resonance, and the resonance, how we know what is our resonance? Autoacoustic emission. So the eardrum generates the sound which comes from the body, from all the organs together, from the blood circulation, and it emits this little frequency here. So this is one thing, and if we know this frequency, then this is our kind of unique frequency. Also, this frequency is in our voice, which is like the resonator. We just, um, we use the resonance of the body, and this is our resonance when we speak. And so first premises is we are unique, and we need to find the resonance of our box, of our body, in order to apply accurate frequency, right,
Wow.
or vibration.
Mm.
So this is the common problem I kind of have now, because we are kind of putting um, we generalize uh, everything in terms of sound, and all the devices or instruments, singing bowls, the specific uh, um, specific sets of frequencies, and they are not. It's not gonna kill us, yes, but in to be very precise, we need to understand that we are very unique. We need to adjust everything. We need to customize. But when it comes to life, then it's true that we are on the same planet. The planet, there's a, let's say, it vibrates in certain frequency, gives us foundation, and somehow all the living beings are sustained by, let's say, if we bring this vibration to hearable spectrum, that would be the vibrate, some kind of tone, right?
Mm.
So it is true that we also have this unified tone where we all live in, inside this tone. So when we my another kind of question was like, what are those uh, the most common for everybody tones?
Mm.
Yes. And it needs to be simple. I like this saying, like, simple is doable and complicated is interesting. It needs to be doable. you know so I found few very interesting frequencies which people react to very well, and it doesn't give like this, some of this frequencies, they don't give like side effects, I would say. So
Mm-hmm.
for example, if we take a gong buff,
Yeah.
long gong buff,
Yeah. Which
uh, we usually feel a lot, like people feel
yeah.
nausea, for example, or they have they say, oh, I felt so much, but then the question is, but are you in ecstatic, was it ecstatic, was it beautiful, was it pleasant?
Mm.
Because the good sound for us is like morphine. We should be like, oh, that's a right sound. When we
Yeah.
feel like this, listening to the sound, and you can easily track and see this with the sound generator, let's say, how the ear affects, reacts to frequencies.
Mm.
So there's always tension on release. If you are on the release phase, then there's like very natural. We release everything. We are calm. If we create tension because we are not matching the resonance
Mm.
with the tension, and it's sound wave. Sound wave. It's like a map of life. Really, it's like
Mm.
everything in it. The actually coming back to music. The music, from my perspective, it's a map of life. All the laws, all the relationships, psychology of the tones, how the tones relate with each other. It's everything is there. Once you understand music, you understand how the reality works. You know
Mm.
that, and it's so simple, because all is like a tension release,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
dissonance, consonance. That's what we play with, yin yang, and
Wow.
it's the whole game. To when once we know the rules, and the music can teach us what the rules are. I know it's some musician, but I'm amazed, like how everything is there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
And you don't, and I guess you don't have to be a skilled musician, or you don't have to be skilled at playing an instrument to actually get all of these benefits. and understand these
Yes,
benefits. It's because we
totally.
are vibratory beings, just
Hmm.
even just our voices, like you say. It's a very interesting thing. I didn't quite realize that yeah, that we have our own individual vibratory
Hmm.
frequency. So how do you find, and how do people find that out then? Would the session with you, would they be able to
So,
find how, is it a machine that finds it out? What is it?
so you can measure this from the ear, because again, uh, through understanding the tone, it's like we are as a body, we are generating the tone, and those things. I love those things, and I like science and physics because it's physics. Doesn't matter if you believe or not. Some things are the way they are in this realm, like let's say, but in this realm, like in the 3D, there are certain laws. Otherwise, nothing would be solid here. So with the tone, there are many different harmonics. Let's say the tone is built of many different hundreds of different frequencies. And okay, and so knowing this, I'm generating that.
Mm,
For example, if we're getting sick or ill or having virus, depending what it is, or cancer, whatever, the body drops the frequency. We're going
mm,
lower,
mm,
and it's you can measure. So they say like average, let's say, frequency of the body, healthy body, would be from between 62 to 68 hertz. If we measure the vibration and bring it to hearable spectrum. But if you, for example, with cancer, I don't remember exactly, but it drops something to 40 hertz, 40 something hertz. So when we get lower, literally we get lower,
mm.
you know?
With the
Uh,
frequencies
uh,
too.
yes, with the frequency. So it affects how body responds to all these different stimuli and states. And so first we need to know that we have this, and then once we ask these questions, what is my frequency, what is my tone? So I found, I do like a course where I use it's called the voice blueprint, or mastery of vibration. And it's all about the tone in the voice,
Oh,
because but it's about the tone, not about this, how we speak, what
yeah. Oh,
language we use, because there's an interesting, it just blew my mind when I discovered this relationship. So there's no direct connection between thought and the language. What delivers the thought is a sound, right? So I think about something to tell you, so now I need to clove this into the tone, or put into the tone. The tone will deliver the same, the my thoughts. Yes.
hmm.
So it's important that it's not like a not automatic. So the voice, once is restored, once you can say this is my voice, and this is interesting. There's an interesting thing here. Why people don't like their voices, for example.
Yeah,
Most
why?
of the people, because it's not their voice. Simple. Because we don't speak our voice. Something which is ours, we like. Is my child, my guitar, my body. We like things which belongs to us, which we, oh, this is mine. uh, we don't like something which is not ours. And I know it sounds maybe strange, but I discovered this 2 years ago. I never used my voice, my original tone of my voice,
Oh,
even
wow.
though I can sound very similar. But again, we need to think about the micro scale. What is in the micro scale in this voice? If I record it, I see exactly, where's the discontinuity in the frequencies, and and the difference between after and before. Even I changed completely the tone. My
Mm-hmm.
tone changed. So that's what it does. And this tone has this frequency.
Mm-hmm.
The tone of the voice has this frequency because it's like a natural kind of, it's my box. That's how my box resonates.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And,
That's so
and yeah.
interesting.
Mm. So yes, so
So
this is
people can discover this in through this course that you are doing, and that's so important because then people know how to find the right frequency that can relax them or excite them or give them energy, or because there's, as you said,
mm,
there is a general scale that gives you an idea, but if everyone has their own frequency, then everyone should find their own, yeah, their own tones and their own frequency that work for them. You're right though. I had a gong bath once, and I mean, it was a very intense experience, but not all of it was very pleasant actually.
mm, mm,
So, maybe it was because it was the first one, but it just felt like a massive rush and I wasn't sure what to do with it, kind of thing. So,
mm.
so yeah, it's also about how to knowing more in depth all of this to be able to handle it in the right way, not?
Yes, it's very important, but also it's a little bit like the sound, understanding sound and vibration. We need to embrace the paradox. Like this, this is difficult, but it is very crucial to understand the vibration because like I said, okay, the good sound, it's like morphine, like this, oh, this good feeling. I say morphine, but very good, pleasant feeling.
Yeah.
But when you go to the massage, for example, and you have a hard massage, so what we are doing, we need to this like a kind of unarm the pressure and the blockages.
Yeah.
So the fact that you felt something also, it wasn't rushes or unpleasant. This also could be because the sound is hitting and the kind of destroying these blockages, energetical blocks. So this is true also.
Ah,
So it is like that and it is like that.
yeah.
But my question is this, that if we harmonize everything and let's say we don't have these blockages on the right and on the left side of the spectrum, now I'm coming as me and I'm harmonized and balanced. What sound would you like to apply to yourself? That's different. You will need completely different sound
Yeah.
tones
Yeah. Yeah.
than you coming to for treatment.
Yes, all of this is so interesting, and where can people come and find you, know more about their own frequency and how to vibrate better with the rest of the cosmos,
Mm.
and understand much more in depth how you use your tools, for a general well-being.
Right. Okay, so the best place to find out more about my work is the website masteringharmony.com,
Okay.
and that's where all my kind of activity is happening. And so those activities, what are they? So I work with trauma with like as a therapist. So this is one thing through psychosensory modalities, and the main tool is havening techniques. But through the sessions, I just mix different modalities like hypnosis and psychosensory approach, somatic approach, and psychotherapy also. So that's one thing. It's like a kind of clinic, psychosensory clinic. In terms of sound, I have a music service which I kind of collaborate with through with different organizations. I'm doing retreats. There's one retreat is coming in Spain now, 6 days. Sorry, yes, 6 days retreat in Tarifa. So there will be different. We will use different modalities, in order to kind of bring the harmony back, and it's called Return to Harmony retreat.
Ah.
This retreat. So that's one thing. I also work with. I have other work in Spain in June, which is the festival. It's called Pachamama Gathering, and it's a festival, 4 days festival, but it's like related to more to music side. In terms of practice, like what we spoke about. So I have this course on voice, so the voice blueprint, which takes usually like 6 weeks. And it's a process. It's a process where we're going through different phases of understanding, and also therapeutic work related to the blockages related to voice, to expression, communication, being in the communion, being in the relationship with, external world. So this course is on the website. Also, I do from time to time, I do one-to-one sessions with sound and psychosensory modalities, because there's something I really I found this approach is much more effective, because I want to have to be efficient. It's much more effective when we combine many different modalities than just one. So, for example, sound, it's good, but together with other, like with, let's say, with breath work, or with like very specific touch, for example, which is it's a proven touch which generates delta wave, so it brings us really into deep state.
Right.
So this external inputs together with sound. Also, I work with the colors as
Right.
another thing, the light and color, and the
Yeah.
color is as well the sound spectrum, measured in 48 billion hertz, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
in billion hertz, sorry. That's how we measure the light and color. So, for example, one of the thing is that I studied this modality called cellular resonance therapy, which is all about the cellular level, the sound and the free vibration, the cellular level, which is the microscale also. And this is one of the tool I use. It's called tuning fork, and this tuning fork I use as needles for acupuncture. So,
Oh.
for example, it's got very strong vibration, and you go into the acupuncture points, and there are very specific sequences, and the key is in sequence, in the sequence, not in the point. So, when you do a very specific sequence, which comes from Chinese medicine, then it's very powerful. They say like even 8 times more effective than needles if you do this. And
Oh.
it's a different approach than Chinese medicine a little bit, because first we want to remove the general flow of energy, of which is actually bioelectricity in the body, and then we go to the problem. Yeah, so there are different, like a tuning forks. I use only two really, because that's the after all this research I found there's kind of, so there are some frequencies very kind of I found most of the people really like them, uh,
Mm.
and I haven't found anyone who said like, oh, I hate this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And also use the singing bowls here, so as a
Yeah. That
massage.
one we can hear.
Yeah, can you hear it?
Yeah.
And you know, interesting thing even about this, because we're talking again about subtle micro scale. This one, I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah.
Here you can hear it a little bit. So you cannot hear from the distance, right? But this sound wave has acoustic sound wave has 1 meter 20 centimeters length.
Wow.
So even if I don't touch the body,
Yeah.
my body, you know, when once the body gets familiar, because it's like a, oh, there's something in my field, it's vibrating this way. But it really, after a while, it's such a such a soothing tone
Right.
of this one. And also this one you can use on acupuncture points, so which is great.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. And I can
Mm.
feel all the passion that you have
Mm.
in this field, and the amazing things that you've done in the recent years. And thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here with us.
Mm.
And I'm going to put the website underneath as well so that people can reach you and yeah, and get involved and know more about this wonderful world of frequency and sound healing
Mm.
and presence and touching the soul and finding our soul again. So
Yes.
thank you. Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
Sabio.
much, Angela.
So
Thank you.
interesting. So grateful for this. Thank
Mm.
you.
Thank you.
A big goodbye to our patrons. Hopefully, well, you definitely must have enjoyed this interview today as much as I did. And I'll see you soon, patrons. Bye bye. Bye,
Bye
Sabio.
bye. Bye bye.